This is such a great question to ask yourself because it kind of forces you to realize what do you actually want to do? Because what would you do if you weren't afraid? Like, what would you actually do if there was no negative feedback, if you just did what you really wanted, if you stopped taking things so seriously? It's that kind of thing. And I once heard about this thing recently about it's something called provisional life theory, which I thought was really interesting. It was the fact that some people think their lives haven't really started yet, and they think once I get that job, once I get to that age, once I get to that point in my life, life will actually start. And to me, that's just a bit depressing because once you get to that point in your life, it's like the thing I've talked about before about once I get there, I'll be happy, and it's something everyone's guilty of thinking once I get that body, once I get that job, once I get that amount of money, I'll be happy. And it's something everyone's guilty of because it's natural to think in that way, but you have to realize that your life has started already, and there won't be a point in your life where you'll get that and be like, yeah, my life started, whatever, let's keep going, I'm happy now. Because there's always something else once you get to that point. And the problem with self-improvement and everything like that is the fact that obviously I'm not saying don't improve yourself. Obviously improve yourself. I want you to improve yourself. But if you get too obsessed with it, you can fall into the loop where you get to the point of really, really improving yourself, and then there's still something there. It's the whole, I mean, it's kind of similar with like the whole fact of going to the gym and there's always a physique you want to get. Like as in, let's say you tell yourself, I'm going to get shredded. You get shredded and then you still don't think you look good enough. And it's just an endless loop of just feeling really bad about yourself and what you look like. And it's the same in self-improvement. Once you get to that amount, I mean, that body, once you get to that, once you start that business you want to start, once you get that job, once you read that book or read so many books, there's always something else. And that's the whole point with what would you do if you weren't afraid? Like, it's kind of linked to that because you just do, if you weren't afraid of the negative feedback, you would just do it. But you also need to be like cautious of the loop that's caused by everything as well. And I remember reading a quote by Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, and it's about like life is long if you know how to use it. And it's so true because you don't want to waste, if you waste all your time on YouTube, of course you're going to think your life is short because you're not really like conscious that you're wasting so much time. It's the same with waking up late and stuff like that. You waste so much time and you don't even realize it. So just think about that and think about the fact that you could be doing so much more with your time. So find those places in your life where you can cut back on the time wasted you have. We will waste so much. We're also guilty of wasting so much time on YouTube, so much time on social media. We're also guilty of it. So just cut back on that and just think about the question, what would you do if you weren't afraid? What would you start if you weren't afraid? Like, it could be anything. Because the fact is, people are scared of what other people might think of them if they start that, or what am I going to do if I fail? Like, if I've wasted so much time on that. The thing is, you just need to get going, get past that initial resistance. The initial resistance, this initial resistance is in literally anything that is worthy, anything that is hard. There's always going to be some resistance to it at the start. Like, for example, if you're going on a run, there's going to be resistance to you when, like, at the door, when you're trying to get your shoes on. They're going to be, like, your brain's going to be telling you, don't do it, because it's going to hurt. But once you get out there, once you actually start going, once you get going and everything actually doesn't feel that bad. It's the same with going to the gym for some people as well. You might not want to do it when you start, like, when you're going there and everything, but once you get in there, once you get really into it, you actually start to actually like it. And that's the thing. So just get past the initial resistance. Think about the question, what would you do if you weren't afraid? What would you start today if you weren't afraid? And just start it today. I urge you, just start today. There's always a small step to start. And you can literally start the smallest step towards it today. So yeah, thank you for watching.